The part of John will be played by David Mitchell.
Always early. It's going to be tough.
What?
It's going to be tough.
Who, Laurie?
No. The whole business. It's going to be awkward. It'll have to be handled carefully. My first impulse is blast the hell out of him. Really blast the hell out of him. He's hurt me, Jerry, and I'm angry. Really angry. But I think it's better if I stay cool, don't you think so? It's better to stay cool.
You stay as cool as you are now. We're all in trouble. Just calm down.
Look, sometimes it takes more courage to hand out no advantage to jump in boots and all. I'm not going to smile and pretend it didn't happen, mind you, but I'm going to stay cool.
Calm down.
I could use a drink.
Grab a bottle of scotch from next door.
How's June?
Sick.
That's great. Oh, thanks. What you got?
Flu.
It's going to be a new flu strain in the next 10 years. It's going to wipe out 9/10 of the world's population.
Yeah?
Yeah, I read about it in the Sunday papers.
Well, that'll test Medicare.
I'm sorry it's come to this, Laurie.
So am I. June better yet, Jerry? Like Ruby. Thanks, Laurie. You can follow up. A little bit.
Thanks for coming, Laurie. The committee wants us to try and thrash this out privately before tonight's meeting.
Fine.
The committee wants us to settle our differences, Laurie. They don't want to accept your resignation.
I thought I'd come along and said I'd act as impartial sounding board for you both. Josh was going to come along and lend a hand too, but as usual, he's late.
Josh lend a hand.
Oh, his idea, not ours. Once he gets an idea in his head, though, it's a little hard to discourage. We'll go if you two get to a point where you'd rather talk things through yourself.
The committee is unanimously of the opinion that we don't want to lose you, Laurie. You're one of the best coaches we've ever had, and you've given this club great service.
We'd find it very hard to replace you, Laurie.
The club's going through a slump at the moment, but nobody blames you.
I should bloody well.
Oh, Jesus, Laurie, there's no need to be totally self-righteous. When a football team performs as badly as ours has for the past 5 weeks, most coaches would be honest enough not to try and absolve themselves of all the blame. Really makes me wonder if there's any point to this exercise when I come to you in a spirit of conciliation and you jump down my throat at the first opportunity. I was hurt by what you said in the press, Laurie. Deeply hurt. Took all my self-control to be pleasant to you when you walked through that door.
I think I should tell you, Laurie, the committee took a pretty dim view of your press statements. If you had any grievances, you should have come to us.
The press came to me and asked me if it was true I was resigning. So I said yes. They asked me why, so I told them.
Well, how did they know about your resignation before we did?
I don't know.
Did you tell the players you were about to resign?
Yes, I felt I owed it.
Oh, you must have known they'd take it to the press.
I thought it was a possibility. I didn't ask.
It puts a committee in a hell of a position when you criticise a club president in the press, Laurie.
What's my sin, Laurie? What's my crime? All I could get out of that article was some vague accusation that I'm autocratic. Just what exactly are you trying to say? That I have opinions? All right, I'm guilty. Oh, that on occasions I express them? All right, guilty again. What am I supposed to do, my ass? Run away and hide in the corner? I'm the club president, Laurie. I was elected by the members to lead this club, and I'll bloody well lead it. And if anyone tries to stop me, I'll crush them. No, Jerry, I'm sick of pussyfooting around. I intend to speak my mind. He's called me autocratic, so he better come up with some evidence.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
What do you want?
I want to know what's happening.
It's all right, Daddy. I can handle this.
The players want their point of view heard before the committee makes any decision about Laurie.
The players can go to hell.
They always could as far as you're concerned, Parker. But we just like the committee to know that we're 100% behind Laurie.
Well, you can just go down and tell the players that the committee are 100% behind me.
But perhaps the committee better roll up and play tomorrow's match.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means if that bloody committee of yours gives Laurie a boot tonight, then we don't play tomorrow.
Come on, Bert.
That's lovely. Really delightful. A strike threat.
Daddy, go home and calm
A
down.
strike threat.
It's no threat we mean that you sack Laurie tonight and you won't have a team tomorrow.
Sack him? What do you mean sack him? He's bloody well resigned. We're not sacking anybody. Did you hear that, Jerry? A strike threat. You won't find me bending under that sort of pressure, my boy.
There'll be no strike whether I'm here or not, okay?
I should bloody well hope not. There's more than enough industrial anarchy in the community at large without us copping it on the football field. Next thing you know, they'll be holding a stop work meeting every time an umpire blows his whistle louder than 50 decibels.
Very funny. You'll be sneering on the other side of your face tomorrow.
Danny, if you just clear up and get this whole thing sorted out.
Laurie offered his resignation and we're taking it seriously. What else do you expect us to do?
He only offered to resign because you bloody drove him to it. How can any coach run a team with you sticking your nose in everywhere?
Sticking my nose in?
I appreciate this, Daddy, but you're doing me more harm than good. Go home and calm
Bloody
down.
well tell him.
What do you mean sticking my nose in?
up at the bar and talk to them for 4 hours every Wednesday night.
Jock and Tony, so what? The team is barely discussed.
That's not what I've heard.
Well, then you better wrap your spies over the knuckles because the team is barely discussed. Laurie, have you ever thought I tried to influence the selection of the team?
Yes.
When?
This week.
That's a lie.
You told Jock and Tony that Jeff Haywood wasn't to be dropped.
I didn't tell them any such thing. I expressed an opinion that he shouldn't be dropped, and they happen to agree with me. Aren't I allowed to express an opinion? Am I supposed to walk around this place with adhesive tape over my mouth? I might have known Jeff Haywood was at the bottom of all this. What have you got him perform at the moment? But don't try and make a conspiracy out of that. In my opinion, it's no wonder the lad...
How did he get home and count his money?
Oh, we're not back on that issue, surely. Look, the club did not pay $100,000 for him, as was reported in the press.
I know. You paid 80.
How did you know?
I told him.
Thanks, Laurie, that was supposed to be confidential. Look, Jeff didn't get it all. The club got the bulk of it. My God, if what you're trying to tell me is that the team's playing badly because it's a little upset about a little bit of money that went into the pocket of a legitimate champion, then I'm disgusted.
There's a lot of legitimate champions in this club, Parker. And all we got when we joined was a Guernsey and a pat in the back. I've given this club 10 years of my life and all I've got in the bank to show for it is $80.
Then you must be a hell of a fast spender, Rob. You're on a bloody good contract and you're due for your Provident Fund when you retire.
Oh, I can hardly wait. I'll take them 2 best friends out of Franco Peter Parliament, the other half in the back.
You've done very well out of this club, Rob. If you can't organise your finances, then that's your fault.
What's that mean to me? Parker?
Nothing more than what I
See,
said.
this is all beside the point. We've spent the money on Haywood and there's nothing much we can do about it. If you don't think he's worth his place in the team, Laurie, you're entitled to want him dropped. But if Jock and Tony vote against you, it's scarcely a reason to go run into the press.
The press came to me. I didn't go to them.
All right, but you didn't have to talk to them. Now, can we steer this discussion back to more fruitful areas? Danny, could you wait outside?
The players want to be notified about the decision.
All right, wait outside. Right, that seems we've got to be closer to the real seat of the problem. You think Ted's been in Ted's selection, and more specifically, he's been protecting Jeff Haywood?
No, it's not just that. I resent the fact that he's come to this club with no background and no experience and carried on as if he's God Almighty.
I was elected by the members on a platform of reform, and I intend to carry it through.
In what other ways has Ted interfered?
I haven't interfered in any bloody way.
I'm just trying to get the facts, Ted.
Look, I know what he resents. He resents the fact that I brought a level-headed business approach to this club, and that approach is bearing fruit. That's what he resents. He'd like to take us back to the days of the glorious club tradition.
Rubbish.
Look, we might have the proudest tradition in the league, but we haven't won a premiership in 19 years. Tradition. We've been strangled by it. The days when players would flock to this club simply because of its name are long since gone. It's no use waiting for players to come to you. You've got to get out there in the market and fight for them.
I've been asking the committee to buy players for years, and you know it, so don't give me a lecture on tradition.
All right, so why are we fighting? I've gone in there and battled with the bloody diehards, and for the first time in the club's history, we're buying players.
You're buying the wrong bloody ones. I could have bought 3 players for the money you spent on Haywood, and each one of them would have been more use to the team than he
Look,
is.
this is getting us nowhere. Can I have a word with Laurie alone, please, Ted?
Sure. Look, I want this thing sorted out as much as you do, Laurie. I'll go and get some cigarettes. Where's all the spirit we had when I was elected last year? It can't have evaporated. Remember my election slogan, the great leap forward, boom or bust? What happened?
We bust.
We came 7th. If we had had Jeff Haywood in the team, we would have made the finals. You've all been down on Jeff from the minute he came in, but his first 2 games this year were brilliant. You can't deny that, Laurie. Absolutely brilliant.
And his last 5 have been wretched.
Give him a chance, Laurie. And give me a chance too.
What the hell did you go to the press for?
I got fed up, Jerry. I've had enough of that clown.
I've been at my wit's end trying to contact you, and Tony said he found you at home.
I was.
Well, I've been phoning you all day. Didn't you hear it, Rick?
Yeah, I sat there listening to it while Helen made me cups of tea. It's the most relaxing day I've had in years.
Well, it wasn't for me, Colin, not at all. You're that type who give administrators nightmares. You bottle up your grievances for months and don't say a word, and suddenly I pick up the morning newspaper and bang, it's all there on page 1.
I got fed up, Jerry. That little cretin's been trying to tell me how to do my job ever since he was elected. I'm a professional and I shouldn't have to put up with it. Not from the owner of a meat pie factory who's never played a game of football in his life.
He was elected by the members, and so were 4 of his cronies. They've got the numbers, Laurie, and we're stuck with them.
He's got to go on that spot.
You're scarcely in a position to be delivering ultimatums, Laurie. The committee are on the point of accepting your resignation.
Well, they better accept it then, because I can't go on like this. Last night, Jeff Hayward turned up to training 3/4 of an hour late. I told him to do 20 push-ups and he told me to get stuck. 3 hours later, courtesy of Ted Parker, he's picked in the team.
Ted's not on the selection committee and you are. Did you tell Jock and Tony that Jeff had defied you?
No, but I told them I wanted him dropped and that should have been enough.
They're not just your puppets, Laurie, they've got minds of their own. Why didn't you tell them that the lad had defied you?
Because it isn't easy to admit you can't control one of your own players. It shouldn't have been necessary in any case. He's been playing atrociously. Did you see last week's game?
Yes.
He ignored all my instructions, wandered down to the forward line and stood there staring out at the crowd. And when the ball came downfield, he stood there and watched it go past. I'm not exaggerating, Jerry. He stood there and watched it go past.
Yes, I did see that incident. What's wrong with him?
I don't know. But it might help if he didn't feel he had the unconditional support of the club president.
Yeah, well, Ted does feel pretty committed to him.
He's the one who authorised us spending all that money.
It goes a bit deeper than that. Keep this absolutely confidential. But Ted kicked in an extra 10,000 out of his own pocket.
He must have money to burn.
He hasn't now. His firm's about to go bankrupt.
Well, don't expect me to cry. He came down from the grandstand last week and tried to tell me how to run the game.
Really? That's a bit much.
He's never played a game of football in his life.
Yeah, he is a problem.
I thought the stuff I said in the press might embarrass him into resign.
Embarrassed? You couldn't embarrass Ted Parker, Laurie. I was contending with him the other day and told him he was a cunning little rodent and he took it as a compliment. Wish he had come to me with this instead of going to the press because none of this need have happened. He's going to have to resign soon in any case.
Ted,
Yeah. There's a storm coming up and I doubt whether he'll weather it.
what's he done?
Got himself into real trouble. It's dynamite. I can't tell you anything more and I won't. But I can pretty well guarantee you won't be around in a month or two and you'll just have to take my word for it.
This is not some kind of trick.
It's no trick. I want him out as much as you do. So patch it up. Withdraw your resignation. And in a month's time, you'll be gone.
This puts a different light on.
Oh, look, I want to clown out as much as you do, Laurie.
What in the hell's he done?
I can't say, Laurie, and that's final. I can pretty well guarantee you'll be gone in a month. So withdraw your resignation.
I won't apologise verbally or in print. I meant what I said.
Yeah, well, he's pretty agitated at the moment, but give me 5 minutes with him and I'm sure he'll be reasonable. We'll get a joint press statement out from the two of you saying you've patched up your differences and you've withdrawn your resignation. The meeting's in under an hour and a half, so just give me 5 minutes with him. Ted?
You know what I've been thinking? We should stop bending over backwards to placate him and accept his bloody resignation.
Yeah, it's a tempting thought.
Why don't we?
It's difficult to replace a coach halfway through the season, Ted, and he knows it.
We're not going to renew his contract at the end of the year. Let's get rid of the bastard now.
We're going to try and not renew his contract at the end of the year. He's very popular with the players and the supporters, and the committee knows it.
Oh, to hell with the players and supporters. The committee's where the power is, and we've got the numbers. I mean, last Saturday's game clinched it. Blind Freddie could have seen that Danny was being beaten pointless, and Laurie refused to shift him until the last quarter. That lost us the match. Ian and Kevin were disgusted. They said that tradition could go to hell, that they're right with us, and Laurie is definitely getting the axe.
I know, I had a long talk with them after the game, but they can change their minds again.
They won't change their minds. Laurie's a dead duck.
I never count on anything as certain until it happens.
Look, the supporters will be ecstatic when they find out who we're getting to replace him. And the players only like Laurie because he pampers them like babies. As far as he's concerned, they can't do a thing wrong. Second from the bottom and 5 straight losses. And the only explanation he can give us is that they're a little upset, poor darlings, because Jeff Hayward got a little bit of money. Just not good enough. They need a tough bloody hand and they're going to get it. Laurie's a dead duck.
Yeah, that blunder last week was pretty obvious.
Blind Freddie could have seen it.
They say he was a great player.
Yes, and my aunt makes great scones, but that doesn't mean she should run a cake factory.
We can't sack him in the middle of the season, Ted.
Well, if he stays, he's going to have to apologise in the press.
He won't, so be reasonable.
Why shouldn't he? He's held me up to ridicule. I'm the club president. He can apologise or resign.
Look, Ted, it's going to be nasty enough at the end of the season when we don't renew his contract. He hasn't exactly been a failure around here. He's been runner-up in the finals once in the last 8 years.
What's the good of being runner-up? We want the premiership.
And we'll get it. But let's not be difficult right now. Let's just issue a press statement to the effect that you patch things up and you feel you can work together. And that Laurie's withdrawn his resignation.
It's not good enough. He's got to apologise.
Well, he won't, so let's just be sensible. Oh, sorry, mate.
out there too.
Danny, what's he doing there?
He just popped in to tell us that if we sack Laurie tonight, the players will go on strike.
Come on.
Strike? When?
Tomorrow, they threaten to refuse to take the field.
Ted, it's not a serious threat.
I thought that was.
Right, I'll give the bastard strike.
It's not a serious threat, Jock. Don't bring it up again.
Strike, eh? Danny!
What?
What's this bloody business about a strike? You been threatening this club with a strike?
I told Jerry that if Laurie gets the sack tonight, then we don't play tomorrow.
I've never heard anything like my bloody life. Now who's responsible? Come on, give us their names. You're not going to hold this bloody club to ransom road. I'll suspend the bloody lot. Now come on, give me their names.
The whole team, except Jeff Hayden. It'll give him a chance to show what a real champion is.
Disgusting and despicable threat, bro. I never thought I'd live to see the day. I played 282 games with this club, and every time I ran out onto the ground, I was honoured to be out there wearing the club colours as I did the first time.
Calm down, Jock. We're just on the point of getting this whole thing resolved.
Look, this club won't tolerate threats, Ro.
No, by God, it won't. If you're looking for a bloody fight, Ray, you won't find me shirking the issue. Oh, Laurie. What role have you been playing in this, Laurie? Been stirring the lads, eh?
No, he hasn't.
They'll be out there tomorrow, no matter what happens tonight.
I never thought I'd live to see the day when I heard the word strike mentioned in this room. Look at these pictures, Danny. Cheetah Ryan, the greatest centreman of all time. Warren Oates, only 5'7" and a half, and thick as a pumpkin. Mike Lennon, Sandy Forbes, Terry Dutton. Great names and a great club. And you've got the honour of the tradition they created resting right there in your hands.
And the shit from the present administration right up our nostrils.
Don't you get too cocky, bro. You're not bloody indispensable.
Just remember that any player found guilty of a gross misdemeanour loses every cent of his provident fund.
Bullshit.
That's true, isn't it, Jerry?
No.
You know what I want to do? I want to turn all these photographs around so they don't have to look down on this shameful scene. Imagine how Harry Payne would feel. Imagine how he'd feel. Yeah, if he knew the word strike was being bandied around in this hallowed room. The man who kicked 3 superhuman goals in the dying minutes of the 33 grand final to get us the flag. He'd think it had all been for nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if he's turning in his grave right now.
He isn't even dead.
I went to his funeral last year.
That was Harry Trelaw.
Shit, yeah, the way they're dropping off these days, it just gets me confused. But it doesn't alter my argument, dead or alive, what's happened here today is an insult to their memory. The men up here in that corner worth penny a modern bloody player. All we see here from today's lot are whinges. You whinge about money. You whinge about the administration. You whinge about every bloody thing. In my day, the greatest honour a man could have was to pull one of these red and white jumpers over his head. These men up here didn't whinge about money. They played for 2 and 6 a match during the Depression, and they would have played for nothing.
Oh, Jesus, Jock.
Well, not maybe 2 and 6, perhaps a little bit more, but they still would have played for nothing.
Well, they were stupid. If I'm going to go out there and risk a fractured skull or a ruptured spleen, the amusement of a pack of overweight drunks in the grandstand bar, then I want to get paid.
Is that what you think of your supporters, Ro?
Overweight
Well,
drunks.
like running the club, let me tell you something, Ro. Watching them going from that grandstand every week is more business and financial expertise than you'll ever come across in your lifetime. Last week I had Sir Richard Tanner on one side of me and Arthur Mowbray on the other. And for your information, they were both drinking tomato juice.
If you've been there since morning, it's probably all that was left.
That's a real sort of crack, Ro. I've never been drunk to the point of social embarrassment in my life.
Not much of bloody work.
When have you ever seen me drunk?
The fundraising dinner for a start.
I was sober all evening.
You couldn't get out to the strip of bars tonight.
She asked me to take up her garden.
She didn't know she'd brought back your face after you'd done it.
Well, you're very smart, aren't you, Ro? Very, very smart. Well, just remember you might need my signature on a clearance form one day.
Why would I want a clearance?
Because some interstate club might offer you money.
I wouldn't take it, I'm staying right here.
What if you can't hold your place in the team?
Hold my place? What are you talking about? I'm fitting out my otherwise.
You're nearly 29, Ro, and you're slowing down. And we can keep you here playing the rest of your football in the reserves. Remember that.
Any more of this and I'll leave.
For Christ's sake, we made a start on the real business of the evening. The meeting's in under an hour and a half. We're going to have this whole thing resolved. Danny, you've left us in no doubt about the player's position. It will be taken into account.
Yeah, I know that. Just get out the way for a minute. I've given this club the best years of my life. Every match I've got 10 kicks for 10 years, game in, game out. And the first time out of that game is on me. What right have you got to pull shit on me, you fat turd?
says a word.
Ah, shut up, you lucky idiot, don't you? You got to be bloody tactful when a player's getting on in years, Ted. Comes a hell of a shock to the system when a bloke you could have matched in your younger days turns round and takes you apart. Look, I don't get angry about that strike stuff too, but you got to deal with those things with a little bit of tact. Tubby Robbins took me apart in the 49 grand final, and when I got home, Rosemary said, "I think you met your match today." So I thumped the one. She apologised later, but the damn
He's back with Raylene, but I don't know if he'll last. I hope it does. He's fond of his kids.
Yeah, Raylene's a hell of a nice girl, but the word is she's not very keen on hiding the sausage. Domestic strikes ruin many a champion footballer. Donny Joseph's wife went off for some real estate agent the night before the 47-7 final. Only got 3 kicks. Hey, what happened to that Avis tart Danny was shacked up with?
I wouldn't know.
He's probably still paying the rent on her flat. No wonder he's only got $80 in the bank.
John, Ted and Laurie prepared to work out a joint press statement to the effect that they feel they can work together and that Laurie's withdrawn his resignation.
Ah, good.
I feel the statement should say a bit more that we can still work
Well,
together.
that's for you two to work out. We all know there's still some unresolved problems around the club, Jeff Hayward being the most of it, yes?
Well, what's the problem with Jeff?
He's been giving us a bit of trouble.
What sort of trouble?
His attitude leaves a lot to be desired.
Has he been getting a bit uppity?
Yes.
Well, he should know. He's not playing too well. What's he been doing?
Turning up late for training and disobeying Laurie's instructions.
Oh, has he now? So that's why you want him dropped? Too embarrassed to tell us you couldn't handle him, eh?
I can handle it.
Ah, well, if he's been a young smart-ass, we'll just have to cool his heels in the reserve for a few weeks. He could have told me he was playing up, Laurie. I would have gone along with you.
Laurie thought that you and Tony and Ted had some sort of permanent conspiracy not to drop him.
Ah, right. If he's playing up, he'll be dropped like a shot.
There you go, Laurie. You couldn't get much plainer than that.
In all fairness, I think I should point out there's another side to all this. And yet, there's no excuse for Jeff turning up late to training. But it's a bit degrading for a footballer of his calibre to have to do 20 push-ups in front of the whole team.
Ah, right. When I was coach, they did 20 push-ups and someone asked why. They did another bloody 20. Jesus bloody Christ. We're going to have a whole flaming drama in the press before I get to find out that Jeff Hayward's playing up. Look, there's no sense in when your players play up on you, Laurie. You ought to know that. I mean, I had to lay you out behind the lockers in your first year before I could get any sense out of you.
Those sort of methods don't work anymore, Jock.
Well, nonsense. A good tuck never did anyone any harm. Look, let's get the lad in here and thrash this thing out.
We don't have to solve everything now.
No, strike while the iron's hot. I've been very worried about the lad's form recently. Let's just get him in here and have a bit of a yarn.
I can handle him myself, thanks, Jock.
I wonder if something's worrying. You've been talking to him lately.
Yeah, he told him to do 20 push-ups.
Shut up, yeah. You know, I always used to talk to my men and, always paid off. Hey, remember Lofty Blue? Worst tempered man I ever laid eyes on when he first come to this club. Wouldn't do what I told him. Spoke back to me, hind hand off the field. A real bloody nightmare. Well, one day, I sat him down and looked him in the eye. I mean, you had to sit down and look Lofty in the eye. And I said, righto, Lofty, old son, what's the trouble? And you know, he cried. True, Lofty Blue broke down and cried. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. Anyway, seems the problem was really simple. Since the age of 16, he'd never been able to get a decent night's sleep. Seemed his bloody legs were too long for the bed. Anyway, we bought him a king-size bed and he won the club's best and fairest the very next year. Maybe Jeff just needs something simple like that.
Yeah, a king-size pillow for his swell head.
No use, Jock. He's got in for the lad.
Oh, look, Laurie, if I get the lad in here, we'll try and sort this thing out, won't you? Look, I mean, I do feel responsible. I was on the subcommittee that said we had to get him, so if I get him in, will you try and thrash it out?
I don't see what good it'll do.
Now, come on, Laurie, don't be stubborn.
We don't have to have him in tonight, John.
Look, let's strike while the iron's hot. I'll go and get him.
Once John gets his mind set on something, there's no stopping him. I'll just go next door while you two draft up your press statement. Give me a call when it's finished.
You should go a bit easy on young Jeff, Laurie. He's going to be a great asset to us sooner or later.
Can we leave Jeff Hayward and get on to Presto?
Sure.
One thing I want to make perfectly clear before I sign anything. I won't have you coming down from the grandstand and trying to tell me how to run the game like you did last week.
Danny was getting thrashed. I thought you might have noticed.
What do you think I am, an idiot?
Why didn't you shift him?
Who else would I have put on Wilson? The obvious choice would have been pin-up boy Hayward, but he was playing like a slug on tranquilizer.
What about Holford?
Holford? Holford was holding my whole back line together. If I moved Holford, the forwards would have run right.
Well, I still think you should have done something, Laurie. There's no reason to go at me like that. I was only saying what everyone in the grandstand was thinking.
It's easy to see things wrong from up in the grandstand. But I'm the one who's down there on the spot. And I'm the one who knows exactly what my men can and can't do. And I don't appreciate interference from amateurs.
I was only trying to help, Laurie. Your reputation suffered quite a lot from that mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
All right, look, let's forget the whole thing and get onto this press statement. Now, I was hoping that we could say something.
One more thing. Next time the negotiating subcommittee thinks of buying a plane, I'd like to be consulted.
You will be. We just didn't have time.
Bullshit. You, Jock and Jerry got your $80,000 and you weren't going to let anybody else in on the act. Despite the fact that you were specifically instructed by the full committee to consult me before any purchase was made.
We're afraid the committee might change its mind and refuse to give us the money, so we acted in a hurry.
I'll say you did. You spent the whole $80,000 on it done.
You're wrong, Laurie. The boy's a champion.
It doesn't matter how much natural ability he's got. If his heart's not in it, he's a dud. Why didn't you go for Book and Masters and Andy Payne? You could have got both of them for that price.
I did at first. Well, Masters at any rate. Didn't think of Payne. I was going to come in with Frankie Davis.
Davis is a bit past it. But even that combination would have been better than splashing a whole lot on Hayward.
I think you're wrong, Laurie. I thought like you did at the start. I suppose in the end it came down to quality versus quantity.
Who stuck out for Hayward?
Jock. Couldn't shift him. He wanted Hayward and that was it.
Jock. You want to know something? Jock's an old bastard. 2 years ago, he was thumping the table at committee meetings, yelling at the top of his lungs that this club would never stoop to buying planes.
I know. I fought the election against him on that issue.
When it happens, he's in there organising. Why in hell did you offer him the vice presidency? All his cronies got beaten and he only scraped in by 2 votes.
I intended it as a gesture of reconciliation.
More fool you.
Yeah, more for me. The first thing I do after the election is go out and buy this club the best administrator in the business. And now, 18 months later, Jock is in cahoots with my administrator, and the two of them are running the club.
He's a great supplier.
I don't know why you spend your time gunning me down, Laurie. They're the ones with the real power.
They tell me you put up 10,000 of your own money.
Yeah. They upped the price to 90 at the last minute. I don't mind, really. I feel as if I've contributed in a concrete and very personal way to what I believe is a great step in this club's history. I still think I'm right. That lad will do great things for us one day.
I hope you're right.
What are we going to say to the press?
Just that we're prepared to keep working together and that I've withdrawn my resignation.
Well, I want a bit more than that, Laurie. I've got my pride. You've called me autocratic in the press. Don't you think that calls for some sort of retraction?
The fact that I've said I've withdrawn my resignation is more or less a retraction.
No, it's not. All that means is you still think I'm autocratic, but you're prepared to grit your teeth and sit it out.
That's not too far wider than that.
Well, I want a bit more than that. I want to say that discussions have taken place, that several misunderstandings have been sorted out, and we're sure we can re-establish a fruitful and harmonious working relationship.
Is it true?
No, but it sounds good.
I'll say that we've had a talk and found we can still work together. That's all.
We shouldn't be fighting like this, Laurie. It's also ironic. I've always been one of your greatest admirers. You remember the first game of football you ever played?
Of course.
You just turned 17 3 days before. Or was it 18?
17.
There's a real sense of occasion and anticipation right round the ground. We all knew already you weren't just another recruit. We all knew we were going to see the first game of a great new champion. I don't think anyone was disgusted. You remember your first kick?
Not all that well. I know I heard a good goal, but there's that much adrenaline pumping through me that when I came off the ground at half time, I could hardly remember.
It was magic, Laurie. It really was. I was only 14 at the time, but I can remember that match as clearly as if it was a video replay. You read the play and started sprinting for the goal, took a low pass off Wally Baker, steady, did a beautiful blind turn around Stan Jackson, and booted it through the centre. I've seen every game this club has played since I was 6. And I remember that one clearer than most.
Yeah, it was a good game. I settled down the second half and everyone seemed pretty pleased with it.
Pleased? They went bloody wild. Laurie, do you know, up until the time I was 12, I used to cry every time we lost. But if we won, I'd go home and kick a footy around the backyard in the dark, try to remember every kick of the match and pretending I was in the side. By the time I was 16, I could hardly hold my place in the school thirds.
We're all going to have different talents, Ted.
I would like to put harmonious somewhere in this statement, Corey.
You're a tryer, aren't you?
Would make me feel a lot better.
I'll say we've had a long talk and resolved our differences. That's as far as I'll go.
I've got on to Jeff, and he's on his way in.
You're a hard man, Laurie. I'll draft it up and give it to Jerry.
I want to check it before it's released.
Don't worry. I won't slip anything in.
Jeff's on his way in.
Ted tells me you're the one who stuck out for him.
Yeah, I did, Laurie. He's bloody good, that kid. He's got so much talent, he's a bloody freak. He's just got to be motivated properly.
What's this I hear about Parker resigning?
Parker resigning? Is he?
Come off it, Jock, I'm not an idiot. Jerry said there's some sort of storm blowing up that's going to force him to resign.
Oh, I did hear a rumour to that effect.
Come off it, Jock. You don't hear rumours, you start. What's going on?
Well, he got himself into some sort of trouble, but, you know, I don't know all the details. But for God's sake, I mean, let's face it, it'd be better off he's just got to go. The man's a buffoon, let's face it.
And when he does go, you'll be standing as our president, no doubt.
If that's the wish of the committee. I tell you what, with Parker out of the way, things will start to kick over smoothly round here once again. We'll get ourselves out of this problem. Just you wait and see. Jerry's got some great ideas for next year.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, great administrator, that lad. Getting him's one of the smartest things the club ever did.
You were the one man on committee who voted not to appoint him, Jock.
Oh, man, can be wrong.
Not many can manage it as often as you do.
Man, I'll lay you out behind the lockers.
What's some of these great ideas of Jerry's?
Oh, we're going to buy up big.
Buy more players.
No, shit. We're going to graze them on the oval and save on lawn mowing costs. Of course we're going to buy more players. We're going to go on the biggest buying spree in the history of the game. And what's more, it's good economics.
Why?
Well, we win a premiership, it'll arrest the membership decline. And more members mean more money. As a businessman myself, I can see the logic of it.
As a businessman yourself, God help us. I was one of the much who invested in your import business. 100 dozen pop-up Taiwanese toasters that burnt the bread and then fired it like mortar shells. No wonder the Chinese don't invade, and there's probably 100,000 of those toasters permanently trained on the mainland. And then we had the 40 gross Russian alarm clocks that tick so loudly the alarm wasn't lit because there's no bloody way knowing you could get to sleep. And then we had the 40 dozen paired toy handcuffs from the Philippines. That we withdrawn from sale after 3 days because 48 kids had to be hacksawed out of them.
I'm glad I laid you out behind the lockers.
Well, you haven't exactly distinguished yourself in your business career.
Well, you won't make fun of me when you hear some of the names we've been negotiating with.
Negotiating? Who's negotiating?
Listen, Jock, I'm supposed to be consulting. No, I don't mean negotiating, not negotiating. We're just, looking at some names.
Who has?
Jerry and I.
What names?
Oh, try these besides. Cam Donaldson, Mickey Dimmish and Andy Payne. How'd you like that one in your goal-to-goal line?
I'd love them on me goal-to-goal line, but I'd like to be consulted.
Well, you are right now. Cam Donaldson, Mickey Dimmish and Andy Payne. Good enough?
They both.
No, they will be. Jerry's amazing. Just keep the names under your hat. There's half a dozen comes after him. Look, we're going to have a great year next year, Laurie. You at the helm and players like that to the side, there'll be no stopping us.
Is this all you're prepared to say to the press, Laurie? Yes? You're not very generous. Ted's pretty upset.
Tough. What's this I hear about Donaldson, Dimmish and Payne?
Sorry, Jerry, it just slipped out.
The rate at which things slip out around here makes me wonder if members of this club aren't fitted with a special circuit that goes straight from ear to tongue and completely bypasses the brain.
What's the meaning of starting to plan next year's team without consulting?
I was going to talk to you about it today, and you went and got yourself in this mess with Ted.
Where are you getting the money for the spending spree?
We'll get it. How? Leave it to me.
Be buggered, I'll leave it to you. Listen, I've been around here for 20 years and I'm president of this bloody club, not the office boy. How are you getting the money?
Keep it quiet then. It's all a bit touch and go at the moment. We're two of the biggest property developers in the country in the members by last Saturday.
Half the Malbridge in town.
Yeah. And despite what Ted thinks, they didn't get there by accident. I fossicked around and found out they're both old club supporters, and so I've been courting them. And doing it pretty well, even if I do say so myself. Most guys of their age are looking for an interesting sideline, and these two are no exception. Except they won't have anything to do with us as long as Teddy's president. They didn't say anything directly, but it was quite obvious what they were feeling, and I can't say I blame them. He was fawning on them like a drunken toad on Saturday.
What role in the club have you got planned for me?
Well, if we get rid of Ted, we'll put Mowbray in as vice president and make Tanner an honorary life member.
Where's his 25 years active service?
We'll get around that shit, Laurie. Let's not be bushfires when there's this sort of money involved.
What sort of money?
200,000 each for starters. We can't buy ourselves a premiership with that, nobody can.
Yeah, we'll get ourselves a bit more cash from our sales as well.
Sales? What sales?
I was going to talk to you about the possibility of offloading one or two of our older players who are still looking good but are just about over the hill.
Such as?
Oh, I don't know, I'm just the administrator, you're the expert. But given that we get Zonks and Division Pain, who can we do without?
Tony Harper, I suppose.
No, hardly with you, but its market price is somewhere under 5,000.
Market price?
Yeah, I've been making a few inquiries.
They're men, not pigs.
All right, if you want to mince words, we'll call it something else. But the fact remains that there is a market mechanism operating. There is a price on every player, and the price on Tony Harper is so low it's not worth negotiating his sale. The only player we've got with big money on this head is Danny.
We're not selling Danny.
Why not? With the players we're getting, do we really need him?
Yes, of course we bloody
Right,
need
It's
him.
a question. I wouldn't know whether we need him or not. I'm just the administrator, you're the expert.
We need him.
Fine. A few of the wise heads around here seem to think he's played better than he really has for years. Since he hasn't exactly been playing in the team full of champions. They're worried that if he plays too many more games like last Saturday, too many people will start to realise that his market price, or whatever you like to call it, will plummet.
Which of the wise heads around here believes that little thing?
I do. I say Sally Molly still works. I mean, let's face it, Laurie. When you and I were winning our medals, it was in a team full of champions. Danny's little more than a talented hack.
Come off it, Jock. He's nearly as good as either of us were nowadays. I know what's worrying you. If he stays around for a couple of more years, he'll beat you at 282 guns.
Yeah, well, you couldn't beat him. He won't either. Leaves his bloody wife and kids for some Ava Sheila. When my record goes, it'll be to someone with a bit of bloody moral fibre.
Moral fibre. I don't seem to remember you were famous for your celibacy in the old days. In fact, if my memory serves me,
That's enough. Laurie, what if I told you I could swap Danny for Tony Marchesi? It's made you stop and think, hasn't it?
can you?
No? But it made you stop and think, which just goes to show the central assumption of science and economics, that we'd all sell our grandmothers at the prices, right? Is it really all that far wide of the mark now, is it?
The only reason I'd want Danny to go is if Danny wanted to go. I don't care if he's swapping for Jesus bloody Christ.
Yeah, well, that's all that will happen next year. Jesus Christ will have trouble getting the game in the reserves. Oh, probably Jeff. How do you want to handle this, Laurie? Would you like me to have a talk with the boys first?
I'll talk to him, Jock.
Oh, yeah, sure. You know, I wouldn't mind having a yarn, a fresh viewpoint, but often break a deadlock. You know, I was a coach for 15 years myself, you know, and I have had the odd bit of experience with troublesome recruits.
Clear out and let me talk to him.
Suit yourself. Come in, Jeff. Sorry to interrupt you, Bill. Jerry and I just go next door to have a bit of a drink so that you can have a chat with Laurie here. Feel free to call me if you need me, Laurie. A fresh viewpoint can often break a deadlock.
Thank you, Jock. You've read the papers, I suppose?
Yep.
The committee's meeting in just over an hour to decide whether they're going to accept my resignation. I think they're going to ask me to reconsider. It's hardly worth my while if you're going to get declined.
So what are we supposed to do? Kiss and make up?
I don't want you to defy me in front of the players.
I don't want to be told to do push-ups again.
If you break discipline, you do push-ups. Everyone else does.
I don't.
No one else objects to doing push-ups.
That's because most of them have got ear-to-ear bone.
Oh, I see. You've done a few subjects at university, so you're out of our class.
If you like doing push-ups, I must be.
All right. Point taken. You don't like push-ups. But it goes deeper than that. Why are you playing so bad?
I'm doing my best.
No, you're not. You played 2 good games at the start of the year. You went to pieces in your third and you've got progressively worse ever since.
I lost all.
It's more than that. You're not even trying. Is it that you object to me personally or is there some other reason?
I've lost form, that's all.
Look, I know there's some degree of antagonism from other players in the club. You came here with a big reputation and a lot of money, so there's bound to be. But it's not going to help matters if you lay down and stop trying.
You're reading too much into it. I've lost form.
It's more than that. Last week you wandered down to the forward line and stood there staring out at the crowd. And when the ball came downfield, you stood there and watched it go past. Look level with you, Jeff. That's more than being out of form. What's going on?
All right, if you really want to know what's going on, so I'm sick to death of football. I don't care if I'd never play another game in my life. It's all a lot of macho competitive bullshit. You chase a lump of pigskin around a muddy field as if your bloody life depended on it. And then when you get it, you dig it to bugger and go chasing it again. Football shits me.
I wish you let us know your attitude before we pay $90,000 for you.
You think you can buy me like a lump of meat, and you better think again.
You took our money with your eyes open. Don't you think you owe us something?
If you're stupid enough to offer me that sort of money, I'll take it. But all you've bought is my presence out and over for 2 hours every Saturday afternoon.
We thought we'd buy a lot more than that.
Took your money. It was practically thrown. You weren't there at the final sign-up session. It was a joke. There were 3 of my guys on one side, and Jock, Ted and Jerry on the other. And Jock was looking at me as if I was a giant pork chop. He was almost salivating. I felt sure that at any moment he'd bring out a little hammer and test whether my reflexes are as good as they're cracked up to be. By the time we got through the pleasantries, I was getting pretty cracked off, and I decided to make myself a little bit difficult. So when they shoved the form in front of me this time, I read it through 4 times, put down the pen, shook my head, and said I wanted more money. I didn't expect to get any more. I just wanted to establish myself as something more than a tailor's dummy. It was marvellous. All hell broke loose. Your guys accused my guys of being cheats. Jock thumped our president on the snout. And Jerry sat there stirring his coffee with a retractable biro. I was just about to burst out laughing when I looked across, and there was Ted Parker, sitting in the middle of this pandemonium, his face as white as a sheet, scribbling frantically in his checkbook. 10,000, he yelled. I'll go an extra 10,000, but that's my limit. Everyone had a ball.
You still living with that girl?
Susan? Yeah, why? Do you think she's a corrupting influence?
She didn't seem very interested in your football career when I did.
She's not.
She thinks it's a lot of macho competitive bullshit too.
You can hardly blame her when we come to blows behind the lockers.
How's your jaw?
Still sore. How's your gut?
Likewise.
Push-ups are one thing, but trying to thrash me into submission just isn't on.
I know, I'm sorry. But I love football and I love this club. It's a bit hard for me to understand someone who holds them both in contempt.
Love the club. Jock, Ted and Jerry.
The club's not Jock, Ted and Jerry. It's nearly 100 years of history.
Yeah, well, I miss the history and cop Jock, Ted and Jerry. Honestly, what's an old fool like Jock doing in a position of power?
He was a great player, and whether he deserved to or not, he won 4 premierships as our coach.
Didn't he deserve to?
We're not here to talk about Jock.
Was he a bad coach?
Yes!
How did he get those premierships then?
He won them in his first 6 years when the best talent in this country was fighting to get a red and white Guernsey. By the time I took over, all that long finished.
Yeah, someone told me you were responsible for getting him the sack.
I thought he was coaching disgracefully, and I did some lobbying. I'll admit that to anyone. He dosed himself up with whiskey before the 67 grand final. Halfway through the last quarter, he took Benny McPhee out of centre where he's really firing, and put him to full forward where he's hardly sighted. It cost us the premiership. Why are you so interested in Jock?
No, it just amuses me to see you guys stick around this club for years, having your little power battles, cutting each other's throats, and filling up your lives with such petty nonsense. So Jock was a bad coach and you lost a bloody premiership. What does it matter? It's not important.
I might be old-fashioned, but it seems important to me to step in and do something when a great club's going downhill because of incompetent coaching.
I don't want to play the devil's advocate, but you've been doing some pretty bad coaching yourself lately.
Such as?
Such as not shifting Danny off Wilson last week. He was getting thrashed.
I know.
He was leaving him for dead.
I know.
Then why didn't you bloody well shift him?
Because he was desperate to keep trying. Danny's never been that badly beaten before. I know it was the wrong thing to do, but I felt I owed it to him. Danny's been the backbone of my team for the last 8 years. Besides, I doubt there's anyone on the team could have done any better.
I could be, Wilson.
You were down the other end of the ground staring into the crowd.
I could beat it.
I'm getting pretty bloody fed up with your arrogance, Jeff. You've been paid a fortune and you won't even try, and when I try to talk to you about it, you give me a lecture on how petty like my life is. And to cap it all off, you nonsensely tell me you beat Wilson when in the last 5 weeks you can hardly get a kick. I've been watching you closely. You couldn't even outrun Butcher Malone.
I was stoned.
Drunk.
Stoned.
Marijuana.
Hash.
Why?
Because it feels fantastic. 5 minutes after you have a smoke, your head was right off your shoulders. I wasn't looking into the crowd, incidentally, Laurie. I was watching a seagull. Not just an ordinary seagull, but a prince of seagulls, blasting me with rays of pure white every time its wings caught the sun. The roar of the crowd paying grace to its homage and beauty. What a try some, Laurie. Lowers your whole perspective on things. You start now. I had a smoke before I came. You addicted? Don't get addicted to hash, Laurie. Did you see me fly for the ball in the second quarter? So far over the pack, I felt like Achilles chasing the golden ball.
Jesus, Jeff, how am I supposed to cope with this?
Just don't ask me to do push-ups.
No, sorted things out yet?
Not quite.
Would you like me to have a word with the lad, Laurie? Sometimes a fresh viewpoint can help in these sort of situations.
No.
Well, I wouldn't mind having a bit of a word with him, Laurie. You know, there's a few things I want to say to him. Do you mind? You've got an interview, I'm afraid, Jeff, but not to worry, we'll sort it out. Hey, you did some good things last week. Not one of your best games, mind you, but you did some good things. Glorious marking in the second quarter. You just seem to keep going up and up.
Felt like Achilles.
Who's he?
A Greek guy who could really jump.
Yeah, some of them new bloody Australians could be champions. Just give up soccer and learn to assimilate. Hey, why did Butcher Malone take a swing at you when you hit the deck? Did you all go in the gap?
No, I blew him a kiss.
Oh, that's good. That's subtle. Oh, I was a bit more direct in my day, though. But I did have a little trick that used to, you know, put them out of stride, so to speak. You know those times when you're half a yard behind your man and you're going for the ball and there's no bloody way you're going to stop him? Yeah, well, the thing you got in your favour is that everyone, including the umpire, is looking at the ball, right? Right. Well, as soon as your man leaves the ground to go for the mark, you get your thumb and you ram it up his arse. It works every time.
Sounds addictive.
Oh, it's a beauty. Oh, shit. I've got to go and have a piss. Yeah, let's be... Oh. Roll your own, do you? Yeah, I used to roll my own when I was a boy.
Would you like me to roll you one?
Oh, yeah, that's bloody good. I'll just go and have it, you know, and then when I come back, we can have a bit of a quiet yarn and a smoke. All right? Be great. I hope you don't smoke too many of these. Oh, makes you short of breath. How many do you smoke a day?
Oh, 3 or 4.
Oh, that's all right then. You're bloody strong. Suppose you get used to having them took it. Hey, Laurie's a bit worried about your form lately. I reckon you're playing all right, but Laurie reckons you can do better. I mean, I do too, but I don't think you're playing as badly as Laurie thinks you're playing, but I think you can do better. Well, what do you think?
I think I could too.
Oh, good lad. It puts me in a bit of a spot when you're down on form, because I was one of the buggers that stuck my neck out to get you. Knew you're a bloody champion first time I saw you play. 1 in a million. Nothing worrying you, is it?
No.
No problems with women. Don't screw too many of them or you get the jacket. I got a feeling something is worrying you, Jeff.
You could be right.
Yeah, I got a bloody instinct for problems. You want to talk about it?
I don't know whether I can.
I won't get past these 4 walls, you can be sure of that. Have you been able to talk about it to Laurie? Yeah, it's hard to have a heart-to-heart with Laurie, isn't it? He lacks that bit of human touch. You know, I was always talking to me boys and joking and fooling around, but Laurie, no, he's a bit standoffish. Not one of the boys. A bit remote, don't you think?
Well, he hasn't told me too many jokes.
Oh, no sense of humour, never has. Bit of a fanatic.
He lives for football.
Yeah. I used to take the boys up to a bloody country race meeting every now and again in the middle of the season, you know, to break the tension and we'd have a few beers and a laugh, and it was great. But Laurie had never come. He'd stay back by himself and train for hours and hours in the middle of the oval. Bit of a fanatic even then. Hey, do you think the players really like him?
They seem to.
I can't understand that. Always thought he was a bit standoffish myself. I was one of the boys when I was coaching. The players would do anything for me. You might hear some stories that, my men weren't fit, but that's bullshit. I didn't make a guide of fitness and overtrain the men like Laurie, but they were fit. And you also might have heard the whisper around the traps that the players lack discipline and I played favourites. Don't believe that either. If any of my men didn't do what I told them, I tore strips of them, whether they were drinking mates or not. Laurie started all those stories. He's had it in for me ever since he come here. Since he first came to this club, he's made it his business to rewrite the history of this place with him as its biggest shining star. He's always wanted to beat my record of 282 games. He's been obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed. He had a bloody bad groin injury and a dicey hamstring, and every time he ran out onto the ground he was in bloody agony. But there's no stopping him.
He didn't beat it though, did he?
No. He tripped over a little rabbit rudder but coming out of a pack and did his cartridges with 3 games to go. Can't say I was sorry. That's to laugh me bloody head off. Tell you, make no bones about it, Jeff. I've got no love for Laurie. Not after the way he took over as coach. I admit that, the style of game had changed and I was making a few mistakes, but I was brought up on a different brand of football. None of this play on, helter-skelter, win-at-all-cost steamrolling stuff. No. And if anyone had come to me and told me straight out, Doc, you're getting a bit past it, I probably would have stood down like a man. But that wasn't Laurie's style. He went sneaking round behind my back to the committee and told them I was drunk during the 67 grand final. Well, I had a cold and, I needed a few sips of whiskey to get me fortified, but I wasn't drunk. He'd been after my job for a couple of seasons. As soon as I made one mistake, he went in for the kill. But he'll get his. He bloody promised the committee the world when he took over, and he hasn't won one premiership. Not bloody one, and I've won them 4. I don't wonder that you're having trouble getting on with him, Jeff. Don't wonder at all, because you've got real ability and you can see through him. No, he's never been able to command the respect of anyone with real ability, and he never will. What we need around this place is someone with authority, someone who can command, because it's fear that we get premierships these days, Jeff. Bloody fear. The game's so bloody tough that every time you go out the ground, you've got to get your men so scared of making a mistake that they go out there and play the game with a state of fucking terror. Yep. Fear wins your premierships, and bloody Laurie couldn't frighten a field mouse. No. I understand how you can't get on with him, son. I just want to let you know I'm on side. What's your problem?
It's a bit difficult to know where to begin. It is to do with women.
Oh, it usually is. You're going with anyone in particular?
No,
Well, what about that tall Sheila I saw you with at the club ball?
she's just a friend.
Oh, jeez, Jeff, I wouldn't mind having friends like that. I don't mind admitting I was having a bit of a perk. You think she realised you could see right through that bloody dress she was wearing?
That's the idea.
Oh, marvellous. Look, Jeff couldn't keep my eyes off her.
Beautiful girl.
Well, what's your problem?
It's so bloody embarrassing.
Well, come on, get it off your chest.
Won't get past this room.
Oh, no.
Destroy me if it ever got out.
No, wait, look.
It's not that I'm not attracted to the job. I am desperately attracted. When it gets to the vital moment, I just can't seem to.
Yeah, but you can't get your act together. Jesus, hell!
For Christ's sake, you've got to keep that to yourself, John.
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, sure you're not training too hard? I mean, I could never get it up on a Saturday night after a game. You always had this sort of problem?
No. At one stage of my life, I had no problem at all.
Oh, well, you're not on your own, I was reading an article in the Sunday papers that said that the young men of the nation are being swept by an epidemic of impotence. Man has become the hunter, and women the hunter. Bloody unnatural.
I don't think it's that.
Well, have you seen a doctor?
Yes, there's nothing wrong with me physically. It's up here.
Oh, well, I don't really hold much truck with these bloody psychological explanations. Nothing up here ever stopped my bloody old trooper rising to the occasion. You sure you're not training too hard?
It's not that. It's my family.
Your family?
It screwed me up in more ways than one.
Yeah?
Won't get past this room, John.
Certainly won't.
I never talked to you about my sister.
No, I didn't know you had one.
Don't talk about her often. She was in a very serious car accident the night before her 18th birthday. I was only 14.
Very hurt.
Very. Both legs someone as young and beautiful as Gabrielle, it was shattering. She wasn't just beautiful either, John. She had everything going for her. She was warm, intelligent, popular. We tried to keep a stiff lip, but I was distraught, and so were my parents. Every time I looked at her, I had to turn my head away so that she wouldn't see me cry, because the last thing she wanted was pity. Just can't tell you how brave she was, John. Don't be sad, son. I'm still alive, and I've still got my family. I mean, Jesus, Jock, is that courage, is it?
That's courage.
One night, I heard her crying in the dark in her room. It became too much for me to bear. Is this all too much for you, Jock?
It's all right, so come on.
You're looking a little pale.
No, just all tobacco, you know, a bit stronger than I'm used to.
So I went and lay beside her and held her in my arms, and we cried together for hours. Every night after that, I'd comfort her in the same way, and we'd lie together crying in the dark. Then one night... Oh, I'm sorry, Jock, I shouldn't inflict this story on anyone. You're looking as white as a sheet.
No, it's tobacco, honest.
Are you sure it's not getting too heavy?
Go on.
Well, without each of us quite knowing how or why, my sister and I became lovers.
Jesus!
He didn't care. It all seemed so right. Can you understand it, Jock? It was wrong, but it was right.
No legs.
I loved her, Jock.
Oh, how long would this go on?
Not long. One night, when Dad was away on one of his many business conferences, the light was suddenly switched on, and there was my mother.
Oh, hell.
Can you imagine how we felt? Can you imagine how she felt? I can still see her standing there, still young and still beautiful, in a flowing silk negligee, with a look of utter shock on her face. There was nothing she could say to us, and there was nothing we could say to her. She just turned off the light, went back to her room, and we listened to her sobbing. Finally, I couldn't stand any longer. I picked up my sister and went to my mother's room, and we all clung together, crying like lost sheep in the dark. Gradually, as the night wore on, I'm sorry, Joe. It's getting all too much for you, isn't it?
No, go on.
It gets worse.
Go on.
Again, I'm not quite how or why, but my mother and I became lovers too. 3 nights later, my father arrived home from a business conference.
Oh, hell.
He looked at us and said just one thing: "You've killed me, son." 3 days later, he shot himself. I've been impotent ever since.
No bloody wonder.
It's got so bad that every time I run out of the toilet, it's as if everyone's whispering to each other about me. I just can't concentrate on the game.
I'm just going to have to lay it on the line, Jeff. It wasn't right to get involved with your sister and your mother. I can't say that I wasn't disgusted, but the club mustn't suffer just because you happen to have no bloody moral sense. Look, the thing we've got in our favour is that no one knows anything about it, so all this business about whispering and everything's a whole load of bloody nonsense. All you got to do is get out there and start playing. That made my eyes go funny. Sure, I saw those photos move. Look, quite frankly, Jeff, I had my doubts about paying 80,000 for a Protestant. A good bloody Catholic lad had even so thought about giving his handicapped sister a Wellington booty. He'll be down with his bloody hands and he's stuffing his Hail Marys. But no, the damage is done. I was the pastor who stuck my neck out for you, and I'm the one that's going to get crucified if a word of this ever gets out. I've got a lot of enemies around this place, Jeff, and most of them are up on that bloody wall. Wipe that frown off your face, please. Get that bloody frown off. Look at the frown. Look at them all there. Just sitting there, itching the bloody sitting judgment on me, eh? This is worrying, Jeff. Extremely worrying. I know I was the one responsible for it. The word gets around. You wipe that bloody frown off your face, please. You only played bloody 89 games. You shouldn't even be up on the bloody wall. 89 games, dead raw, none of them worth a flaming cracker. Hats and dead beats, a lot of you. The only photo that should be up on that wall's mine. 282 games and 4 premierships.
What in the hell are you carrying on about?
In big trouble, Jerry. Big trouble. Bloody Jerry.
We will be if you don't pull yourself together. I've just got a phone call from Scotty Palmer. The whole thing's hitting the press sooner than we expected.
What, the stuff about Jeff?
What stuff about Jeff?
He's a nut.
He gets too hard to handle. We'll sell it now. Pull yourself together. The stuff about Ted's hitting the press on Sunday. What's that smell?
Ted?
Yes, Ted. You just have to cut down on your drinking, Jock. You'll jeopardise our whole plan of operations.
Stuff about Ted. He's hitting the press on Sunday. We're going to probably force him to resign tonight.
Sunday? That's earlier than we expected.
I just said that.
We could probably force him to resign tonight.
I just said that too. Now get yourself in a shape before the meeting. It's going to be a bloody tough night.
I'm just going to have to lay it on the line. Jeff, I'm afraid you're going to have to keep right away from your family and concentrate on the club. There's going to be some great things happening here next year, and if you don't want to be part of it, we'll bloody well sell you.
What thing?
Oh, we're getting ourselves some great players and a fantastic new coach. Oh, shit, I should have said that. What is wrong with my head? Look, just forget about the business about the coach, will you? Well, look, I'll tell you. Laurie's had his tips, huh? Last week was the final straw. He'd gone. Out the door. A bloody 5-year-old could have seen the bloody Danny after we shipped it off. Wilson?
Who's the new coach?
We're going for the best, mate. We're going right for the top. We're chucking out the window the bloody old club tradition that says the coach must have played for the club. Why should all these old bloody hacks get first go on a plum job, eh? Yep. We're getting a good coach, fantastic coach, and a whole lot of great players. So if you just get off your arse and have a go, son, you'll find yourself a star and a team full of champions. All you gotta do is get up there and start trying. And if you don't, well, we'll cut our losses and take you to some deadbeat team up the valley.
You finished job, I'd like another word with Jeff.
Yeah, I've finished. Just you remember what I said, yeah? Okay?
What was that?
Job got a little bit heavy.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be a little bit heavy too. I'm not really impressed with your attitude, Jeff. Danny's down below playing pool. He hasn't got half your natural ability or your brains. He's fucked up his personal life and he's coming to the end of his football career. But he's thrown every ounce of his energy for the last 10 years into doing as well as he possibly can for this club. And I admire that. Because if you've got talent, you've got a responsibility to use it, not fuck around. So if you're ever out in that ground again, you're not 100% fit, 100% clear-headed, and 100% trying, then you'll never play another game for this club as long as you live. Selection committee or no selection committee. Look at me and listen to what I'm saying. You might think it's a big joke to smoke, screw and take Ted down for $10,000, but I don't think it's that fun.
I didn't take him down.
You took him down.
Took himself down, stupid little turd.
All right, Ted's a stupid little turd. But he's also seen every game this club's played since he was 6 years old. And I know that's the last thing that impressed you. But by Christ, it impresses me.
What's $10,000 to him? He's rich.
He's not. He's about to go bankrupt. Now maybe I'm feeling guilty about what I did to him in the press this morning. But I promise you, unless you start playing football, I'm going to make you pay him back every cent of his money, even if I have to pound it out of you. Right, look at it.
Laurie, you're giving me the shits.
And so are you. If you're really on about love, peace, and non-competitiveness, then pay back your money and get out. Get out for good and don't fuck around. If you hate the game and all it stands for, then get out. But I'll tell you one thing. You'll miss it. I've seen you so bloody swelled up with pride out there. I've seen you so pleased with yourself you had tears in your eyes.
Bullshit.
Bullshit, no. Don't think I couldn't tell what was going through your mind when you took the opposition apart in the first match. You thought you were fantastic. You thought you were the greatest footballer alive.
It was good. So what? So I was getting stoned and making love to Susie.
Anyone can get stoned and make love to Susie. You're going to miss it. I don't know, I've been missing it for the last 10 years. If you want my honest opinion, the reason you're into love and non-competitiveness is you tried a few things that didn't come off in your third game. You've been scared ever since. Scared? Scared that you're not as half as good a footballer as you thought you were. You're in the top league now, Jeff. There's lots of competition. It's no good saying you could beat Wilson. You've got to do it.
Don't try that one on me.
You're scared.
Lay off the primitive psychology, Laurie.
We've got Taylor against us tomorrow. It's no good saying you could beat him either. You've got to do it.
Seen these sort of films before, Laurie. What I'm supposed to do now is stand up, and so I will. I'll eat the bastard for breakfast and go and play the game of my life. Is that right?
You're not scared. How come you have to drug yourself up before you get out of the field?
Because football bores me, Laurie. I've done it all. When I was 12 years old, I was growing up in a little country town. My ultimate dream was to get a game in a local first. 6 years later, I was picked in the state side. I was an acknowledged champion.
No, you weren't. You were just a young kid with potential and you still are. Anyone who wasn't cross-eyed or bandy-legged could get a game in the Tasmanian States. When you've got the guts to go out there and take on proven champions like Taylor and Wilson, and when you start to miss the roar of the grandstand, then come back and tell me you tried. Until that time, you can sit and rot in the reserves without getting the opportunity you want.
I'm more than a kid with potential, Laurie. Tasmania's provided this state with more champions than you can name. They don't pay $80,000 for a kid with potential.
Normal people wouldn't. But as you pointed out, this club is run by morons. Now, unless you come to your senses, I'm going to drop you to the reserve for the rest of the year. And the year after that. And the year after that. And as far as I'm concerned, you can play out the rest of your career in the reserves and be damned to the $90,000. Now get out of here and don't come back until you mean business. You sent out the press statement?
You're trying to force me to resign.
What do you mean, bullshit?
I just thought you might want to resign, Ted, that's all.
There's no way in the world I'm going to resign.
It's up to you, Ted. If you want to battle this whole thing, I'm sure the committee will back you.
I'll battle it through and I expect 100% loyalty from the committee.
You won't get it from me.
Well, I wouldn't expect it from you or from Laurie, but I'll get it from the rest.
Your man can step down right now.
Coward stuff. Men fight.
Fight who? Women?
Oh, you believe her story, I suppose, every word.
Yeah, why shouldn't I? Jerry was there.
I slapped her, that's all Jerry saw.
You hit her at least once, Ted.
I slapped her.
If it comes to the point of testifying, I'll say I was confused and I didn't see what it meant you did hit her.
Yeah, with closed fists too, you mongrel, so don't expect me to be sorry for you.
What's going on?
Ted's in trouble, Laurie. A stripper suing him for assault. The whole thing's going to be plastered all over the Sunday papers. The stripper at the fundraising.
I didn't hit her. It's a load of trumped up garbage. If the committee sits by me, we'll see it through.
I thought you only fumbled with a gun.
You followed her around backstage.
She egged me on all through the act, Laurie. Eyed me off, stroked my hair, asked me to take off her gutty. I paid the band for all she was worth. Then when I go around backstage, she switches it all off and treats me like I'm dirt under her feet. No one treats me like that, Laurie. Least of all a little trollop like that. I'm the president of the greatest football club in the history of the league. Whereas some little slut laughed in my face.
Was she hurt?
Of course she wasn't hurt. Suppose by the time the journalists get through with me, it'll sound like we went 15 rounds.
How'd the press find out?
Oh, God knows. We've been doing everything possible to keep it quiet at this end.
Look, the committee's got to support me. If everyone's behind me, we can see this through.
Mongrel, I'm not supporting you. The medical report said she had bruises all over.
What medical report?
The newspaper rang me to see if they could get a club reaction to the incident. They mentioned something about a medical report in the hands of the girl's lawyer.
I slapped her, Jerry. You've got to testify that I only slapped her.
I'll say I was confused, Ted. I can't say I didn't actually see her here if they've got a medical report. I'd go up for perjury.
She must have got one of her friends to slap her around when she went home to get some more money out of me. It happens all the time. I gave her $20. She was quite prepared to forget the whole thing. That's how upset she was. She's gone away and thought about it and thought she could make some easy money out
I
of it.
wouldn't be surprised if you're right, Ted, but the public are going to believe her rather than you.
Who gives a stuff what the public believes? The facts are, she called me a pig and I slapped her. I'm the greatest president this club has ever had. I've single-handedly reached out of the Stone Age against forces that would have broken a lesser man. I fought a pitched battle against the forces of tradition and conservatism, and I've won. In fact, I've been so bloody successful that those very forces have now turned around and adopted my ideas as if they were their own.
Are you referring to me?
Yes, I am referring to you. I've changed the whole future course of this club, and because of what I've done, the next years are going to be the greatest years we've ever had. We're going to have a triumph that'll make the great years of the 30s look pale by comparison. We're going to dominate this league for the next decade, and I'm going to be here while we're doing it. No other Trump's going to deny me that. The committee will stick by me to a man.
Want to bet?
I'd stake my life on it.
Then you're a dead man. The club's not going to let its name get dragged through the mud just to protect your hide, Parker. I'm going to move that you stand down.
You won't even get a seconder.
Want to bet?
Well, even if you do, you won't get the numbers on committee.
Want to bet?
Who've you got?
Tony, Ian, Jack and Kevin for
Oh,
start.
bullshit, they don't even know about it yet.
They do. I rang around as soon as the paper rang me.
Well, Ian and Kevin are my friends, Jock. If anyone's going to stick by me, they will.
Want to bet?
But one thing you've got to understand, Ted, is that if the consensus is that you do resign, then it's not necessarily because we don't think you're innocent or that we're not your friends. It's just that because we're on the committee, we've got to face realities. And the reality is, it isn't so much whether you're innocent or not that counts, it's whether the public think you're innocent. And in this case, I'm afraid, the public are going to think the worst. I'm sorry, Ted, but we just can't afford to jeopardise the credibility of the club by retaining a president who's earning the weight they're going to think that you've earned.
What kind of logic is that?
It's the logic of pragmatism, Ted. You ought to know that. You brought it to this club, and you were right. Loyalty to any one individual is a luxury you can't afford in a business with a multi-million-dollar turnover. I'm sorry, Ted, I'm not particularly on the brutal side of pragmatism either, and I'll vote to retain you. But if the general consensus is that you do resign, I just hope you can understand their viewpoint.
You're going to get your Ted. Get out gracefully.
We've had our differences in the past, Laurie, but I've been a good president. Not a great one, but a good one. They're not going to sack me if I lay my record on the line.
They don't need you anymore, Ted. They didn't need me, they'd sack me too.
No one's going to sack me, Laurie. I've just resigned.
I'm sorry this has happened, Ted. You've been a good president and it won't be forgotten. You fought to get to my position here and I won't forget that either. I just hope I'll go on to do faith to the justice that you've shown me.
I'm sure you will. I hope you and young Jeff sort out your differences, Laurie. I'd like to think my money was well spent. I doubt I'll ever be cashing up $10,000 checks again.
I don't think your money would have been wasted.
You know what I think was the greatest game of football you ever played? The day he took on Dick Turner in '65. Mind you, I think he shaded it by a whisker.
A lot of people don't.
It's like watching two magicians trying to outdo each other.
I think everyone got their two balls with.
I'm not running away. I could stay and fight and probably get the numbers I'm committing, but I couldn't be bothered. I've got a bedridden wife to look after, and I've run out of energy, and frankly, I'm not even sure if it's worth fighting when the club's falling in the hands of people like you. You've been scheming to get rid of me for 6 months, and now the gods have delivered me in your hand. But when the true history of this club is written, I don't fight a place over you two vultures. I'll be amongst the very great ones.
Bastard. Feel sorry for him.
Sick in the bloody head.
He did hit the girl. I had a hunch that something might happen when he went out, so I followed him. It's a hell of an ugly scene. The girl was quite hysterical.
There, mongrel. What sort of man hits a woman?
Yeah. Shouting out that he was president of the greatest club and held him into a clenched fist. I put him in a headlock and dragged him off.
Why didn't she call the police?
Oh, I gave her $20 and calmed her down. It was the first time the girl was stripped. She was only 18. A couple of days later, she freaked out and almost went off her head.
What day was that?
Last Monday.
Who was that girl I saw you and Jock with on Tuesday?
What girl?
In your office. I came to see you and your secretary said you were busy. A couple of minutes later, a young girl came out. Jock was in there too.
Yeah, we must have been interviewing someone for a secretary's job.
Come on, she was no secretary. Was she the stripper?
No, her flatmate.
What did she want?
What is this, Laurie Star Chamber?
What did she want?
She came to tell us that the girl who stripped was almost on the verge of a breakdown and she wouldn't go outside her flat.
Did she ask you for more money?
Yes?
So, what did you do?
We told her if she wanted some money, she better go and see Ted. It was nothing to do with the club.
Ted hasn't got any money.
Well, that's not our bloody fault. She wanted the club to fork up with $1,000 and we weren't going to come.
So what did she do? Go to the press?
No, we didn't tell her to go to the press. We told her that if her flatmate was in a bit of trouble, she'd better go and see a lawyer.
And sue Ted.
He's still got property, Laurie. If the little kid's in a bad way, she deserves every penny she can get.
You'd spend $80,000 on one plate, but you wouldn't spend $1,000 to kick the club president off the cover of a scandal sheet.
If the kid's in a bad way, she deserves every penny she can get.
I'm sure she does. But if it hadn't suited you to get rid of Ted at that very minute, you would have written a cheque for $1,000 without a second thought. You put the press on it, didn't you?
Yeah, bloody little upstart deserves everything he can get. Comes in here, takes over the presidency, and never played a bloody game of football in his life.
I don't want to hold you up. You probably want to go in there and drink to your success.
I can't say why you're getting so bloody moral about this, Laurie. You can't do much to the press yourself this morning.
Yeah, he wouldn't be one of your favourite people, would he? I tell you what, I'd give $1,000 to get him in a scandal sheet. Bloody disgrace to the club, hitting a woman. Bloody disgrace to those champions up there.
You know what, John?
What?
You're a hypocritical old bastard.
Yeah, well, it is a bloody disgrace.
I would have thought that a man who's given his wife as many black eyes as you have wouldn't be quite so self-righteous.
Yeah, well, you just watch what you're bloody saying, Laurie. You've been picking at me and needling at me ever since you come to this place.
Underneath that rough charm of yours that served us so well over the years, Jock, old mate, is a cunning and ruthless old turd.
Yeah? Well, you've had it in for me ever since I laid you out behind the lock.
Well, that certainly didn't help. A tap on the shoulder and a king hit before I could raise a finger in defence. But I should have been surprised. I knew what you were about long before that. I saw the last game of football you ever played.
Ah, bullshit, you would have still been in
I
nappies.
was 6 years old and I wormed my way down to the fence. What was the name of that guy you played?
You weren't there.
Yes, I was. In fact, the whole thing happened only about 20 yards away from where I was standing. You waited until he started to pick himself up off the ground, lined him up and went right into him with his knee. He was about 5'2" and 6 stone bringing weight. What was his name again, John?
That's enough, Laurie.
He wasn't as badly hurt as the papers made out.
He did recover, eventually. Some people think you retired out of remorse after that game, but I know better. The club was told by every other club around that if you ever took the field again, you'd be lucky to get off it alive.
No, they didn't scare me.
Not much.
Hell, nobody's ever called me a coward before.
Well, I'm calling you one now. If you're going to be our new president, and this is my last year as coach.
Yeah? Well, it's going to be your last year as coach anyway, smart ass. We're getting ourselves a real coach next year, so you can just bloody well stick it.
My being said.
Oh, look, there's some talk that your contract might be renewed next year. Some of the committee feel you had a fair chance and you haven't really come up with the goods, Laurie.
Who are you getting?
Oh, look, I don't think anyone's got as far as talking about that yet.
There's no one up there as good as I am.
There's some talk of dispensing with the tradition that the coach must have played for the club.
I see. Just like that. Well, there's no need to ask who you get.
He gets results.
Yes, he does.
You've had 8 good years, Laurie, and you haven't come up with the goods.
I haven't had the players to come up with the goods. And the reason I haven't had them is all through those years Jock's been thumping the table, pointing to those photos up there, and yelling at the top of his lungs, this club has never paid for its champions in the past and wasn't about to start now. All right, he won 4 premierships as our coach. With the players he had, I could have won 10. You can't do this to me, Jerry. I've worked out my guts for the last 8 years bringing ratchet teams up off the bottom of the ladder. If you give me half the names mentioned in this room tonight, I'll win us a premiership.
I don't doubt it, Laurie. Look, I know this isn't going to make you feel any better, but I've done a thorough check around the chaps. And after Rostov, you're considered the next best coach in the business. Different techniques, of course, but no one doubts your effectiveness. The club's been waiting 19 years, though, Laurie. We just can't afford to jeopardise that on bloody... Oh, look, we can't afford to risk it. You've just got to take a point of view.
I see it quite clearly, thank you.
Look, try not to be too angry, Laurie.
This is the only team I want to coach.
Yeah, well, I've been called hundreds of things by bloody sports writers in my time. And I have never been called a coward before.
That says more for the severity of our libel laws than it does for your courage.
Yeah, well, what about you, eh? Sneaking around behind my back and telling the committee I was a drunk just so you could get me job. You call that courage?
You've just lost us a premiership.
I don't see you won too many since you took over.
And you know why I haven't.
Oh, I'm to blame for that too, am I?
You and your cronies wouldn't let the club buy players.
We were upholding an old tradition. We were wrong, but we believed in it.
They might have believed in it. The reason you wouldn't let the club buy players was to stop me winning a premiership.
Ah, that's crazy talk. Do you think I'd sabotage this club for 8 years just to get back at you?
Yes, I do.
Well, then you are crazy, and I'm bloody glad we're getting rid of you.
You're a thug as a footballer and a failure as a coach, and you're the last person who should be our president.
Yeah? Well, you can call me any name you like. Because the record books are going to say that I played 3 more games than you and coached 4 more premierships. And they're still going to be saying that in 100 bloody years.
I'm going to fight this, Jerry. I'm going to every member of the committee and tell them what doily little woodies you are.
Won't do you any good. They've made up their minds, Laurie. Their loyalty is to the thousands of supporters out there who want a premiership, and so it should be. The club doesn't think like that, then it won't survive.
If this club survives by spreading a man over the front page of a scandal sheet and sacking a man who's never been given a chance to improve himself, then its survival isn't of much importance. I love this game and I love this club, Jerry. And my photo's not going back up there until both you and John are gone.
I don't love the club, and I don't particularly like the game. And that might make me an oily little weasel in your eyes. But I'm the best football administrator in the country, Laurie, and you're only the 2nd best coach. So don't plan on putting that photo back up there for quite a long while.
You get out of here or I'll bloody well take you apart.
gone. Written the cheque for $10,000. Good for you. You won't be able to hold that one over me again.
I'm not interested in holding anything over. I just want to know if you're going to start trying, because if you're not, you're going straight down to the reserves. I meant what I said.
I'll do what I've been paid to do. Is that your photo?
Yes.
They told you you're getting the sack.
Yes, how did you know that?
I heard it from Jock.
Seems everybody's heard about it except me. Listen, Jeff, I'm going to ask you for the first and last time for your help. You're not just a kid with potential. You're an amazingly bloody talented footballer, and I want you to take the centre over from Danny tomorrow.
Danny's not going to like that.
Let me worry about that. You're the only guy in the team who can match Taylor, so I want you to play centre. I want to win that game very badly and give the committee a kick in the teeth.
I don't like their chances.
Well, neither do I if you're going to be a pessimist from the word go.
Be hell of an upset if we did.
You did lose confidence after that third game, didn't you?
A little bit.
There's no need to be touchy about it. It happens to all of us. I only got 7 kicks in the third game. It wasn't worth a crack for the next 4. Stand away from Taylor at the first bounce, and I'll get Keith to knock it to you instead of Alan. If you get that first kick and do something with it, you'll be right for the rest of the game. I'm sorry I asked you to do 20 push-ups. But if you're playing under Rostov next year, you'll have 3 assistants noting down every mistake you make. At half-time, you'll be screamed at and told you're a gutless turd in front of the whole team.
Thought about getting lost off.
Well, they haven't got him yet. If you play well enough and the team plays well enough, they'll find it pretty hard to sack him.
Do you think?
It'd be pretty embarrassing for them to make the finals.
Finals?
It's not impossible.
Suppose not.
If we win 12 of the next 15 games, we'd make it.
Doesn't sound so impossible.
It's not impossible.
Still going.
It's all right, Danny. Just going to start trying.
Yeah, don't waste your time. It's about time we started trying.
They're sacking me, Danny.
When?
End of the year.
Beginning Rostov.
Rostov? Like hell then, I'm going to call the boys.
No strikes, Danny. If you really want to help you, the best thing you can all do is try like hell for the rest of the year. Try like hell.
It's find it pretty hard to sack Laurie if we made the finals.
Bastards, win the bloody flag!
We won't win the flag, but we could make the finals.
It'd help if Mayback here got off his ass and started trying. Put him on Taylor tomorrow.
Taylor. I suppose it would help get your confidence back if it went well.
Put him on Taylor. Make him earn his money. You taking your photo?
Yep, I don't want to hang out there.
Good idea. Let's take the rest, they wouldn't want to be up here either.
Buddy, give me a hand.
Thanks, buddy, thanks.
Did Harry Payne really kick 3 goals in time on in the 33 grand final?
Yep, Dad was playing on the half-forward flank and I was set one up for him.
Did Dad stay up here?
He played most of his football in the reserves.
Could have been a regular in any other club.
Possibly, but he didn't want to shoot. Keep that 10,000, Jeff. If you start playing well, Ted will think his money well spent.
I dropped Jock.
Don't just let it lie. Don't just let it lie there. Jump on it.
No, we shouldn't be too cruel to Jock. He was always very good to his mother.
I can imagine.
No, really. On the 1st of June, no matter where he was or what he was doing, he'd always send her a bunch of flowers and a telegram of congratulations.
It was the first her birthday.
No, his.
Let's go.
I dropped Jock.
Where are you taking those photos?
We haven't decided.
Is this some kind of juvenile protest?
Yeah, the committee notices they've gone, they might ask themselves why before they go appointing Rostov.
What do you do helping? You doing helping this lot, yeah?
I don't want Rostov either.
I hope this gives you some small satisfaction, Laurie. Yes, it does. All of them will demand their photos go straight back up there as soon as Rostov wins them a flag, probably earlier.
Possibly.
Got young Jeff back on side, I see.
Yes, Jeff's going to play very well for the rest of the year. We're going to win quite a few games.
Don't think that'll make any difference to your position, Laurie. I thought I made that quite clear. The committee are certain Rostov will win them a flag, and they're not certain that you will. And in the end, that's the only argument that's going to count.
Possibly. But I'm going to put the counter-argument to the committee. The premiership's won the way Rostov wins them isn't one they'll be particularly proud.
Do you really think they'll listen?
They might. Despite what your economics books tell you, I'm not convinced that pragmatism is absolutely irreversible.
Hey, I wouldn't go getting too excited about getting Jeff on side. He's bloody totally erratic. He'll cut your throat again tomorrow.
No, he won't.
Yeah. Well, I know something about him.
You don't. Good for you. See you at tomorrow's game, boys. You've been a great help tonight.
You go and tell them about Rostov, and now they're all prepared to fight. You get Jeff back in here, and he's all reconciled with Laurie. What'll happen if the club starts winning games for the rest of the season?
Oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. The committee want Rostov.
I wouldn't trust the committee as far as I could bloody well kick them. I can get rid of a moralistic coach any day, but a moralistic coach's winning games can be bloody hard.
No, I want Rostov.
Jesus, Jock. What's this stuff you know about Jeff?
Oh, it's totally bloody understandable. The first thing we do next year is sell him.
Sell him?
Yeah, he's been up his mum and his legal sister, and he thinks he's killed his old man. He told Terry in Strickland's conference, so you know. No. Hey, listen, if he does start playing too well, we can always leak a rumour or two.
Jock, Jeff has 2 brothers, no sisters, and his father had his 54th birthday last Saturday. Now get inside the sofa